Hey guys, this is Brian with DYMA Events, Defend Yourself Martial Arts Events. I'm sitting down across the table with Ray Welsher. We're going to talk about some upcoming events he has, his background in martial arts. He's a coach, and so we'll talk about his training, and we have a beautiful gym behind us here at Triunfo Training Center. And yeah, Ray, take it away.
Awesome, dude. You know, I'm, like you said, Ray Welsher. Some know me as Phoenix Phil. It's the fight moniker. But yeah, dude. Just out here having a good one, getting ready to coach again, you know, just living the life.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay, I'm already distracted. Where did that name come from? Phoenixville?
So my middle name's Philip.
Okay.
I'm named after my grandpa. My grandpa's name is Philip Raymond. I'm Raymond Philip. So I've always, when I did want to fight, I always wanted to include the full name. I also think it's corny, but I'm like, you know, you're going in, fighting's a business, so I go in with the full business name. Phoenix, man, I've had like so much stuff that I've, you know, came up just like that Phoenix story, rising up from the ashes, always becoming better, in a sense. And man, the alliteration sounds good in a nickname too, dude. Like,
yeah, that's
something
true,
about
yeah.
Phoenix, you know, it really rolls off the tongue. So
yeah.
I like it. There's meaning behind it, you know.
No,
so.
I love it. Yeah, the family lore behind it in the background.
Yeah,
I love it. That's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And my grandpa was a Golden Gloves boxer, brown belt, Kempo karate and shit. So he was always scrapping. He was a white guy from Chicago, growing up back in the day. So you know, and then dad boxed a little bit. So it was figure I got to keep the name.
Nice. And then so. Tell us about the martial arts you train and then the martial arts you coach. And I know you work with kids, you work with adults.
Yeah. So grew up, man, found wrestling in 8th grade. Didn't compete or anything, just kind of trained with the team. Wrestled in high school all 4 years, then went to Santa Ana College. I trained there when I was in high school my senior year, so for about 2 years I was there as well. Dropped out, but did get the good training there under Coach Silva, Okie State legend. You know, Sylvan's a legend in the game around here. Everybody who knows about wrestling knows about him. He's in the California Wrestling Hall of Fame.
He runs the Silva wrestling camps, right?
No, so he runs Santa Ana College,
Gotcha.
And then you'll see a lot of the guys around here Silva trained. That's
okay, Silva trained. That's what it is. Yeah.
So that's like the moniker. That's what goes on everybody's stuff. And then that's what really changed my martial arts game and my wrestling game. High school, I was decent. Just very gritty, stuck to the basics, very gritty. That's where I learned how to scramble, got even more gritty, you know, like it's a college room, so it's definitely different. Then had a little bit of a hiatus, dropped out of SAC, moved up north for a little bit, and then just put on a lot of weight. And I was wrestling, stopped wrestling, and I was like, yo, I'm not cutting weight anymore. Cutting weight is stupid. There's no reason to do it. I was at the point where I was like, bro, working out is dumb unless you have something to compete for. And I didn't. Got all the way up to 300 pounds. I was 305 at my heaviest.
Wow.
And we were watching fights, and I grew up, I had boxed, you know, as well as a little kid. But we were watching fights, and I watched UFC fights. I'm looking at my friend, I'm like, dude, I would beat that guy's ass. And he's like, dude, shut up. No, you wouldn't. I'm
no
like,
training at 305.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'm like, but I have wrestling. Like, I was like, I know how to box. I was the guy who was always getting in street fights and stuff. I was like, I drop people all the time. I got hands, bro. When I see red, it's over.
Yeah.
And then he's like, dude, you couldn't even make weight because it was a 205 fight. And I was like, bro, I'm like 220. And they were like, Ray, step on the scale. I saw 305. Next day, I attempted to run 5 miles. I wouldn't say I ran 5 miles because wasn't allowed to run.
Yeah.
But after that, I just never stopped. Just kept running every day. Started losing weight. I told everybody, yo, I want to fight. It was COVID though, so I was like,
okay.
So we're talking 2020. COVID had just started. During COVID, everybody else is gaining all this weight. I decided to lose 105 pounds.
Yeah, just get shredded.
That's how I was like, screw it. And then found, like on some Kimbo Slice stuff, man, found a backyard league where they were putting on fights. And I was like, I just signed myself up. Didn't tell my dad, didn't tell my mom, didn't tell nobody. And I was just kind of training a lot harder in the garage. And my mom would walk in and be like, you getting ready for something? No, just training for health. And training for health, they know I'm bullshitting. Because they're like, dude, training for health. And then 2 weeks before the fight, I tell my dad, hey, so I got a fight. He said, what do you mean? I'm like, I got an MMA fight, and I need you to corner me. And he goes, dude, you haven't been... I go, yeah, I've been boxing, sparring. He goes, you've never sparred MMA a day in your life. And I was like, I'll be fine, dude. I wrestled in college.
Is this like a street beefs or?
Yeah, similar to street beefs. It was called backyard squabbles.
Oh, okay, yes. And they were in Orange County here during COVID?
No, they were in LA.
Oh, okay.
I drove out to the hood in Gardena.
Were they in the shipping container thing? Or
no, they didn't.
Storage?
No, they didn't do the storage thing. Actually, their first ever one, I think they did. When I fought for them, we were in a backyard on some Kimbo Slice shit. Backyard ring in the hood. Everybody's throwing money down on the ring as you're fighting. I'm obviously the only white guy out there sticking out like a sore thumb.
I'm gonna look for that video somewhere. It's somewhere online.
It is. It's on YouTube, and I'm fat, and it's terrible. For that one, I got down to like 268. So first fight at 268, never sparred. I fought this kid, this half black, half Samoan kid whose D'Angelo. D'Angelo, you're still my boy, dog. We're like best friends now. After we fought, it was hilarious. His hands are like two of mine. When it hit me, I remember feeling like this. It was insane.
Half the jaw just moved.
Well, and I came out, I was like, I'm going to throw a Justin Gaethje leg kick. I throw it, it hurt so damn bad. I was like, I'm never kicking again. My hands are down here. He tags me up, and I just hear my dad, wrestle. Dove in, took him down, ended up winning the fight. Took him down every round. So never sparred MMA, won my first fight. So I'm like, oh, MMA's easy, bro. Rematch D'Angelo, kicks me in the head. Get dropped. Now, granted, I didn't think a big boy could get his leg up that high. But well, he kicks me twice in the ribs, so I go, oh yeah, come on. And then I go to duck in and catch it, and he brings it up and over. They stopped the fight as they should. You know, like I didn't get knocked out, but they stopped the fight. As they should. So then started to lose a little bit. I was like, yo, I can't be fighting a heavyweight anymore. And I was telling everybody back then, dude, I'm a 170 pound fighter, maybe a 55er even, who's fighting at heavyweights. I was telling them, just let me lose the weight. Nobody believed me, even my friends. Then then took a couple more MMA fights with them at like 85, a couple boxing fights at 90. I was just getting in there to scrap. Still zero MMA sparring. No one I had who would MMA spar with me. I had boxing sparring partners, and I had friends who I wrestled with in high school who would set up a mat at the park, and we'd just go scrap.
So no formal
zero formal training. My dad's remembering every boxing drill from back in the day, holding mitts for me and stuff, but zero MMA. My equivalent of MMA is me hitting pads and my dad saying, "Sprawl."
Exactly.
Sprawl. So that was it. And then, I had known a couple people from here. I'd been wanting to join Triunfo for a while, but they weren't taking new members. So I was kind of on my own. And I remember Chad and Christian Lopez are the reason why I'm here. I've known their family since I was a little kid. I went to high school elementary school with their younger sister. Know their whole family. Their kids are like my cousins. Like, love them. The second Chad texted me, said, hey, they're taking new members. I walked in. I was doing construction at the time, so I had a bunch of cash. Walked in, found Chelsea, gave her $750 and said, however long this lasts. And she was like, you don't want to do a trial class? I was like, nah, I trust Chad. It's fine. And then just never stopped. Then since then, this has been my home.
Awesome. I've known both those Lopez brothers since I was maybe like a blue belt, coming around his gyms a few times, and nothing but nice people. Then they've still been around. I know now they have their own kids.
So it's crazy. My dad actually coaches. Oh, Nietzsche. Calm down, buddy.
Totally good.
You're good. Hey,
it gives me a chance to check something. Perfect.
It's a family gym. It's okay. So Christian's son Makoa actually is coached by my dad in baseball. So it's cool. So it's
full circle,
everything's full family, from Chad and Christian coaching me and me coaching their kids to now my dad coaching their kids. It's awesome.
And Felipe's kids running in.
Yeah, exactly. and then I get the pleasure. I get to coach little Luca. He comes, takes my Muay Thai class. He's getting better and better when he spars with me, dude.
Nice.
So awesome.
Yeah. And so obviously we talked about your competing background. Right now, you're a coach, you're an athlete. What exactly do you coach? I know you work with a couple different gyms, including Triunfo, and then a really good wrestling gym in the area. Yeah,
so I work for Silverback Wrestling as well. So I split my time in between coach wrestling from ages 5. I always make the joke 5 to 55, man. I could coach anybody. Coach 2 kids classes in a row, an adult class, and then a high school class. So every Monday, Wednesday, coaching 4 wrestling classes a day. I train with the owner, who's like my big brother, Ian Butler. Me and him are always training in the morning. I'll go over there in the morning, get my training in, then go coach classes. Then here, I coach the kids Muay Thai program. When I first started, it was just me and Cody Alacron, and we had like 4 kids. And now we have, I think, total signed up to 40.
Yeah, that's busy, yeah.
So we grew that program from the ground up, dude. Like, some of those kids, I've had them since I have videos of them hanging on my back when they're little tiny kids, and now they're like teenagers looking at me like, let's go.
Awesome, yeah.
Like, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so split my time, and then Fridays and Saturdays I also coach a no-gi takedown class for the kids here as well.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so not traditional wrestling. We're not going to do top bottom. I'm not going to teach you tilts and stuff, but pretty much just all takedowns. And then for the more advanced kids, chaining their takedowns into, all right, we got the takedown into the back take, you know. So, and the kids who show up to our takedown class, man, they're the ones who win these dream tournaments, all these other stuff, because kids can't guillotine.
Yes,
So,
the younger ones.
Yeah, kids aren't allowed to guillotine unless they're doing naga. So if you're good at takedowns, you're winning. You're starting every match 2-0, stay on top, and it's a 3-minute round, you know. And now that they're chaining their takedowns into a takedown into knee on belly, takedown into back take, they're starting everything off 6-0, 5-0 because you got that takedown and that pass, or that takedown and the knee on belly. So it's cool. It's awesome to see them. Like, we had kids who couldn't even. They do the stereotypical jiu-jitsu stance where they're the Frankenstein, straight legs, straight arms, and now they're moving, they're low. It's like a wrestler, and I'm like, dude.
I've seen just through the clever tournaments and Jiu-Jitsu World Leagues and IBJJFs to attend, but Triunfo has a big presence for kids, adults, and they're always putting on a show and podiuming, getting medals, and I think I've even been to a few of Felipe's fights back in the day.
Oh, his MMA fights? Yeah, dude, it was
So-
funny. One of the guys posted they were on YouTube watching Felipe's old fights and stuff, and he always gets all shy. He's like, "Oh, I wasn't that good." Meanwhile, he's just piecing people up. You're like, he's the most humble dude. He's like, "I'm not that good." Meanwhile, double gold at IBJJF whenever he shows up. Like, I've seen him literally before Worlds one year. He was like, "You guys think I should do it?" And it's literally a week out. And he's like, "You guys think I should do it?" And they're like, "Yeah, coach you." "All right, I'll do it. Double gold." Like,
I love seeing instructors and leaders of academies too. They still compete. They're alongside all their athletes, and it's not just, hey, these are medals I got 10 years ago at blue belt.
Back in my day, No, I think that's why we have such a good culture here. And then over at Silverback, we do the same thing. All of our coaches compete. Over at Silverback, we have another kid. He's a Spar Star champion.
Spar Star.
Spar Star champion at 170. Shout out to my boy Jay Schneider. He's fighting for their 55-pound belt and state title soon coming up. Ian still competes over here. Felipe, Chelsea just won Jiu-Jitsu World League.
Nice,
we got one of our other coaches, Ari. He's on Who's Number One.
That's coming up.
He came and cornered me at the Motley Church.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Felipe was out of town. I was like, all right, Ari, I'm gonna need you, my man.
Super cool.
That's the best. It's so easy to coach kids when they know that you put in the work. When I'm like, do 50 push-ups, you get the fat wrestling coaches, do 50 push-ups. You can't do 50 push-ups. When Felipe tells you do 50 push-ups, you're like, oh, he can do 50 push-ups. I'm doing these 50 push-ups, so it definitely helps motivate everyone from little kids to adults too. It makes all of it, dude, after he wins, he's right back in the gym coaching. It's how you harbor that winning environment.
That's super, because I've been around, I used to manage gyms, so I've seen it where obviously the owner needs to hire people to do their classes. He lives his own life, but it's almost to the point where they're non-existent. And they only pick or choose certain classes to be a part of. But
they're like a myth. They're he's here.
Exactly. And then Felipe is just a part of the whole thing. Him and his wife.
It's rare to find a day where Chelsea and Felipe aren't here. And for multiple hours a day, we have classes from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. running throughout the whole day. And yes, we have a great team of other people who help out, but they're here running the ship. And that's why this ship is never gonna sink. And that's why they've made it through so many gym locations, because
just expanding. So we're at gym number 4 right now. We'll kind of give a tour later on. Ray will kind of show us around and show us that space. But and then in the future, you're a blue belt right now. Do you want to be a black belt, open your own gym? Do you want to just kind of cruise at whatever rank that you kind of feel like you're given by Felipe, or what's your goals? Do you want to go full MMA, or do you want to do jiu-jitsu, just kickboxing?
So original goal was I wanted to go pro in MMA because I didn't think I would ever be a pro athlete. And it's crazy. I had my first pro athletic event was jiu-jitsu actually because of you guys, So it's really trippy for me to think that my first pro event was in jiu-jitsu. And now seeing how jiu-jitsu is changing and everything, and there's a lot more opportunities. It's always nice when you can get paid and you don't have to get punched in the face. Now that being said, I'm a bit of a sick puppy. I like to get punched in the face. I like that stuff. There's nothing, even you can win as many jiu-jitsu tournaments as you want. There's nothing like the high of winning an MMA fight.
No, I like sparring, getting hit and saying, "Oh, good job!" After you hit me in the face.
You're just yep.
Damn, that was clean.
That's and
you can tell they're not trying to hurt you. It's just the job and the round. And, a training against training. Let's see who's got it.
Exactly. Let's see it. And it's something I've always loved. MMA has always been the sport since I was a little kid that I fell in love with. That was always, I played baseball, played football my whole life. I was good at football, just undersized. Hated baseball. My brothers are good at baseball. I fucking hate it, dude.
It's like almost a stereotypical
yeah, exactly. I did the stereotypical white guy sports, baseball, football, wrestling, you know.
Merged into MMA.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, MMA, man, I'm gonna go pro. That's I've already had pro offers before. It's just when I want to choose to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go pro. I'm gonna fight in the big league.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll make it to the UFC. In my head, my dream goal has always been, and I know it's silly and everybody's gonna hate on it. I just want to get enough fights in the UFC that everybody knows my name, and I can parlay that into WWE or acting. Even if it's like 3 or 4 fights, just enough of those. Because just like even Dana said it, the UFC is not a job; it is an opportunity. And if you bank on that being your job, that is not going to work.
Yeah.
Now I know through marketing, and I know I'm a social person, and I talk to everybody. If I can just get a little bit of that light, I can expand that. So, and if doing all these jiu-jitsu events and maybe pursuing that for a little bit longer, and if that's going to get me better and a bigger name to come back to MMA, awesome. I just want to be a pro athlete, go out and compete, because I was the unathletic fat kid that everyone was like, you're not even going to make varsity, and now I'm a pro athlete, and now you sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, like, so my goal is to take everything as far as I can while I'm still having fun, because I still love it, dude.
Dude, love it. And how old are you right now?
26. Okay. 26.
Plenty of time left. Yeah. Especially jiu-jitsu, there's they're paying 50-year-old guys to go out there.
Wagner Rocha or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, that guy's like 60, and he's still going out. Dude, he's going out and beating people, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, especially as in MMA, they're seeing that guys' primes are a lot later now. But for jiu-jitsu and wrestling, there's Olympians in wrestling. The Cuban guy, he won 4 freaking Olympics.
Yeah.
That amount of longevity, and at that age to be able to do that is insane. And in grappling, you can.
Yeah.
I'm not I want to be able to.
No head trauma.
Yeah, I want to be. I'm gonna have grandkids. I want to be able to remember their names and play catch with them.
No
so,
CTE.
So, no, I don't need to get punched in the face for the rest of my life.
Yeah. No, that's awesome to hear, and that there are avenues, and I like that WWE thing because that route is very realistic.
Yeah.
There's so many wrestling organizations now popping up. Yep. I know at Gamecraft, where we're going to host Battle at the Brewery, they have an amateur and pro wrestling league.
That's sick.
They literally pop up a cage. Last month they had a steel cage match.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, I think some of them are going to pop out. I'm going to support their event coming up.
Yeah.
Dream Slam.
Hell yeah.
So there are several ways, and I know there's a couple of jiu-jitsu girls who are also in part of Women of Wrestling.
Oh, okay, so they're starting to make that transition over there. Yeah, it's cool. One of our other coaches who used to be at Silverback, Pedro Tavares, he wrestled at Penn State. Amazing technician. Obviously, you wrestle at Penn State. You're legit. Only reason he didn't start is because Jason Nolf was ahead of him. If you know about wrestling, Jason Nolf, world team member, just went out and competed against he had to compete against one of the Rotolo brothers at CJI too. So, one of legit. So that's the guy in front of you. It's okay, He's made his transition into professional wrestling now. He goes by Pat Angel, and he's out there with Kurt Angel out in Pennsylvania training at his school. So I know there's definitely a lot of avenues, and I have people kind of in that game too. So
that's all you need.
Yeah. I'm not doing any of that flying stuff though. I'm afraid of heights, bro. You're not gonna catch me jumping off the
ladders.
Top. No, I'll throw chairs.
Exactly. You'll be the heel for a little bit.
Yeah. I can play the heel. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, that's cool, dude. I love it. So we'll kind of break down a little things. I know we got some gifts for you.
I know,
from
dude.
Pace Combat. We have our plug and play rash guard from the MTI.
Yep.
So Ray was actually on Team Plug and Play. If you guys don't know them, it's the 3rd largest vaporizer brand in the United States. This was. Just want to just display it, Ray.
Dude, this thing was sick. I loved the gray and the way that it came out. Even the logos on the back too. Everything came out good. And I mean, I still have mine. I train in mine every day. It's not stretching at all. You know how usually you'll get those little hair strings that'll come out. None of that. I've washed it so many times, and it's still working good. And then as far as the print goes, everything, it looks great, dude. There's nothing to complain about on my end. I didn't see any of the athletes really say anything other than praise about all the gear that we had. And the way that they were able to, having that many brands and doing that many different color combos and keeping them all the same level of originality. I didn't work harder on this one than I did on this one. That's dope too, because that's hard. Because I know for me, if I were designing it, there's gonna be one where I'm like, oh, I do this. I'm gonna make this one all cool. then you get a bunch of other teams all mad. Like,
exactly, yeah.
So no, dude, they killed it with that.
No,
And I dig the DYMA one too, dude. I like that one.
Eventually, I think as we do bigger events, this will be like a kit I will throw to the athletes. We'll customize it on the back with their name, and then that's something that they can wear around as that grows. But let's talk about your kit, dude. I know you've got a custom made. If you want to break it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely bust it out. So this one, I talked with Jamie. So Jamie over at Pace Combat. It's not just Jamie to you guys. Jamie with Pace Combat. So I talked with them when I first joined Silverback. I had wrestled a tournament for them. We good?
Yeah.
Cool. We did an open. I did an open tournament, showed up, and we had these singlets that had this steel plate kind of pattern on it, like that diamond plating on it. So I told Jamie, I'm like, hey, I kind of want to go with something like this on the side. And then obviously, being a faith-based guy, I had to throw the cross on there. So this is the front that we went with. We got to shout out Plug and Play always. First people that ever really rocked with me like that. Shout out to Peter and everybody there. Then with the back, we got the Triumph. We went with a different Triunfo logo. A lot of times we use the circle one, but I went with the long one. I think it looks a lot better on there. So yeah, super pumped about that. Got the nickname up there, obviously full name as always. And then the shorts, I'm actually really pumped about.
I want to see these, yeah.
I
was stoked about that whole grid pattern.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, that singlet, I loved it so much, and I got so mad at Ian when we didn't have them again. So I was like, dude, when I get my own company, I'm gonna make my own. And now I did. So
love it.
Yeah, so these ones are sick. And then with it on the side.
Yeah.
And the Silverback and the Plug and Play. Threw the US flag on there. The only thing I could have thrown on there that I didn't is the Cali flag. But eventually, me and Jamie have some big plans. Sorry, excuse me. We have some big plans, honestly, talking about like just design stuff, because I know he likes some of the ideas I've had, and I'm gonna meet with their graphic designer. We actually want to do. I want to do a Cali one for everybody, all of our Cali guys, obviously. Full Cali kit. Then we're gonna do a whole faith-based line too, with a bunch of cool designs. Like I've been looking up all these old Renaissance paintings, like the one of Jacob wrestling with God, where they locked hands there. So I have that on the front. Another one of Moses parting the sea and everything. Like, dude, so many ideas.
Dude,
and
I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Dude, and it's gonna be sick, and it's gonna be a whole faith-based line that we're gonna do. So it'll be awesome. So I know that'll not only sell well, but more people wearing it. That just makes me happy, and especially. My grandparents, as I do rock my grandpa's name, biggest thing is that he was like the leader of his church and everything. So when they found out I was fighting MMA, they were not very pumped. But my grandpa said, as long as I'm still spreading the good word and doing everything, then he's okay with it. So second I got a chance to do that, I was like, oh yeah, coming out with the faith-based line. Yeah. I was like, finally, I got my avenue and I can run with it. Like this is what I've been needing.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that's like kind of why I made DYMA events, right? I wanted to get athletes paid. Have the platform still being around like defensive martial arts, and that's kind of the rule sets, different combat athletes, but like giving them avenues to do this. Like we got the cannabis companies to sponsor that event, the teams, the athletes got paid. Battle at the brewery, right? It's a tip-based fighting, and then with money on the mat, it was the bet format bracket.
Yep. That one was cool. I do like that one. That is cool. Yeah. You gotta bet on yourself, dude.
Yeah, no, that's like the whole thing.
If you want to win, bet on yourself. Yeah. And it's funny, when I started fighting in backyards, that was stuff I do. I'd give my friends like $100 and be like, yo, go find somebody and bet on me. Put all my money on me.
Yeah.
And when you bet on anything in life, when you start betting on yourself, you're gonna win. Yeah. So, because if you don't have that faith that you're not willing to put your own money where your own mouth is, then you shouldn't even be out there. Yeah. So that format is sick. I do like that one for sure.
Oh, I love hearing it. That. Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to do more. And Battle at the Brew, you have like two brackets, a baddest of the blue and a white belt bracket. So it's similar.
What was the verbiage used for the white? It was Battle of the Blue Belts and then Wild White Belt or something? Wildest White Belt or something like that?
It's something with the W and a white
that's how I was like, I saw that and I was like,
Warrior White Belts.
Warrior, yes, that's even better. Warrior White Belts is the best.
That was from inspiration from Turtle, so
there we go. Yeah. Is he training? I saw he was training in Costa Mesa. Is he local around here?
Yeah, he's a Garden or Tustin guy, and then he's like at Paradigm and UFC gym right now.
Okay, cool.
He'll be competing on the card.
Oh no way! That's awesome.
Albert Hernandez.
Let's go, dude. That's awesome.
And then we'll have you competing on that card. kind of get into that later. But yeah, how was your experience with the MTI? I know we had 2 events. We had the draft day. We had an actual performance day. You got to meet, you know, Peter Tang. You got to meet the whole plug and play crew.
Yeah.
I thought they had the best. One of the best promos. You guys had some shirts.
Oh,
they
dude.
had the posters.
Yeah, the shirt. I have that poster hanging up in my room.
Damn.
Like,
I asked for one of the posters. Like, no, sorry, we gave it away to one of the athletes. I was like,
yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Like literally, my mom was there. She was like, "Oh, I'm stealing that poster if they don't let us." And I was like, "Mom, it's fine. I'll get the poster. I want that poster."
Yeah.
No, they killed it with their media and everything. Like, they absolutely killed it. You can tell why they're that big of a company. And I mean, if you follow Peter or the plug and play thing, they're coming out with skits left and right.
Yeah.
They're promoting stuff. They go to every event.
Yeah.
They have a presence. So
they're
it's
at EDC.
Yeah,
Yeah, Cali Classic.
I was like,
tournament.
he's everywhere. And
Yeah.
Peter's such a good dude. Like, after it was like, "Hey, dude, let me buy you lunch. Where are your parents at? I want to meet them." Like, when you meet a guy like that, he's a stand-up guy like that, I was like, "Yo, Mom, Dad, he wants to meet you." And they're like, "Why?" And I was like, "He said he wanted to meet my parents, dude."
Yeah.
And they were
That's
like,
awesome, dude.
they're like,
Yeah.
"Dude, that's a stand-up dude," you know? So like, it means a lot. Especially my parents are old school like that, where they're like, "Yo, come up, shake my hand, introduce yourself." So when he did that, I was like, I like this dude. I was like, this is why.
He definitely did not even have to be there.
Dude, not at all.
Like,
He didn't have to be there at all.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be there at all. He sat there, watched everything. It was actually really cool. Like, first couple of matches, because I think I was match like 18, so I had a bit. So he's like, "Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I watch UFC, but I don't really know like all the ins and outs of jiu-jitsu."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, are we winning here? Is this a good position?" So I'm like teaching him about jiu-jitsu
that's
as he's
cool.
watching. So it was cool, man. It was a great experience with him.
Nice.
And then all their reps and everything, dude, communicated with us probably more than most of our teammates communicated with them.
Yeah.
They were on us, dude, and that's good. Especially as athletes, we need somebody who's gonna be on us like that.
Yeah.
Because if not, we get lazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason we don't work office jobs.
Yeah.
And
Oh, dude.
there's a reason we don't work office jobs. There's a reason I'm trying to get punched in the face
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
living, bro. Like, I can't.
Yeah, shout out to Plug and Play, because we had to go through basically like a legal department. They had approved from even the media what they approved. Like, oh, hey, no, this is our updated logo. This is our colorways. Hey, can you make this match a certain color? And we had to like be very specific.
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially with how big most of those brands are. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's cool that they were even willing to go through that and deal with that with you guys, you know, because they could have been like, "Nope, that's too much work."
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
that's what lets you know that it's sick that they're actually willing to go through that, and that's why they're going to grow as a brand and help jiu-jitsu grow. Because we need bigger. That's the thing that sucks about jiu-jitsu right now. There's so many like different rule sets, different this, and there's nobody like the only big people who back the sport are jiu-jitsu guys. So we're never going to get other people watching it. Where if you can tap into a market like. Stoners love jiu-jitsu for some reason. I don't know why. In the wrestling community, it's not as big of a thing, but like, so it kind of tripped me out when I came to jiu-jitsu. I was kind of ostracized for smoking when I first started. So then, like, now I come here and they're like, "Oh, you don't want to smoke in the car after?" And I'm like, "Is this a test?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Is coach behind me? Like, am I in trouble?" Like, so it's definitely cool, and it's stoners like jiu-jitsu. Like I said, it's something that's gonna help the sport grow.
Yeah, dude, love it. And then, so how was your? Let's talk about your match. What was your experience like? Like, I know we had the cage. I actually did not see even half the matches. I didn't even see.
No, dude, you were running around. They had you so busy, bro.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. You think Dana gets to watch most of the fight?
No,
he watches the main event, but even then, he's running around. Dude, match went good. I felt hyped up. I felt ready. One thing obviously zero excuses. I fucking ran too much in my camp and my legs were fucking tight, dude. Now, that didn't affect anything, but that was just one thing in my head where I was like,
could have done differently.
my legs are tight. Now, the massage thing that you guys had there definitely did help, but that was kind of adding to that anxiety. I was like, oh, are my legs going to burn out? Got to my takedown and pushed him up against the cage immediately. I fought Jesse. I think he's sponsored by Pace too. He's a cool guy.
Okay, Jesse. Yeah.
I think his last name Vasquez.
Yeah,
right?
and then he was in the finals against Blake.
No, it was Josh Wang in the finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know the brackets how it happened.
No, it's all good because I know Josh fought Blake in the finals.
Yes,
yeah. But dude, it was a good match. Got to the cage, pressed him up against the cage, was digging my head in, getting good head pressure, high low, just basic MMA stuff. None of these guys know how to work off the wall. Like, it wasn't a question of if I was going to take him down. I knew that. Took him down, pulled him off the cage, and then kind of settled for a second. I was posting under on the forearms there, and then I went full like Vader choke right on the throat, and then I went to go scramble out, and we ended up rolling through a couple of times, and he catches me in an arm bar, and I try to slip out, and that's why I got so mad in the cage, because escape, like, if you ask anybody I train with, people don't get me with arm bars, bro. I fucking escape those things every time, like, and I couldn't slip it out. his belly was just on my. He was a little bit shorter than me, and that's not even my weight class. I went up for that. I was bulking for that. I've been fighting at 55s and 70s. I went up to I think it was like 205 was the weight class or something.
Yeah.
And this dude's cutting to 205.
Yeah.
So when he puts that belly on me, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it is what it is, man. I really did want to win that match though, because I wanted my rematch with Brian from Money on the Mat, because I knew I could have beat that kid, and I thought I beat him. Obviously, decisions is how it is. Like, it does not matter. But yeah, so it's like I wanted to get that back. I would have wanted to fight Chris too. He's pretty good. He's nasty. I've trained with him a couple of times at 10th Planet Costa Mesa at their open mats. And then that Kevin Crane dude.
Kevin, yeah.
Dude,
yep.
That dude's a monster, bro. That would have been a good. I would have had a run for my money with that one.
Yeah.
Big dude. That's a big dude right there.
No, he's an OG in like jiu-jitsu for California.
Oh, dude, he's an OG and everything.
Yeah.
What was crazy is Ari's looking at my bracket and he goes, he's like, dude, I know a lot of these guys here. I'm like, what you mean? He goes, I've competed against a lot of these guys. I go, what do you mean? He was like I'm like when you guys were younger? And he's like, no, like a couple months ago. Like, these guys are black belts. And I was like, all right, I got this. Like, you know, like I was like, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, cage him, put him on the cage. Yeah.
Well, and I did high rollers too. And that one, I didn't even, at the time, I was still technically a white belt. Everyone was like, you should be a blue belt. Felipe was keeping me back, as he should. I love that because I'd rather be the best fucking blue belt in the world when I move up to purple belt, or the best white belt in the world when I move up to blue belt.
Overqualified, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather be the guy who's a lower belt who's fucking subbing you out.
Yeah.
So I did that one at a white belt, and first round I drew a black belt. For belt, I just put no belt because I was like, I'm not gonna tell him.
So there you go. Yeah.
First off, on the screen, it's for belt, none. And I went out there, got to my takedown. We were scrambling. We're scrambling. He's on the back, and then he backs up, shoots a inverted triangle back, ends up catching me with that. Turned that one into my fucking move. Now I hit that all the time.
Dang.
Like, it's definitely turned a loss into a lesson with that one. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't have been my first time having to go up against a black belt. So, and dude, here at Triunfo, like on the mat, we have like anywhere from like 6 to 20 black belts on the mat.
Yeah.
Like that's at a 9:30 a.m. class, let alone our 6:45.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm like.
You have a lot of supply, a lot of good training partners.
Yeah, that's all I'm like. I got guys bigger than me here. Like at 9:30, I'm training with the next D1 football player who is an offensive lineman. So when we're doing hand fighting drills, I'm hand fighting with offensive linemen. So I'm like, come on.
It's gonna help.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked competing up. I've had a bad habit before in sports of playing up to my competition and as well playing down. Like in wrestling, like the kid is the shitty kid. It's like, all right, I have a little like 4-1 match with him. Then some kid who placed at state, I'm teching him in the first period. And I'm like, everyone's like, dude, how can you not do that to that guy? And I'm like, I don't know. He wasn't good, so I felt like I didn't have to try, I guess. I don't know.
These variables.
Yeah, dude, it's trippy, dude.
Well, all right, Ray. Is there anyone you want to shout out? I know you have a few sponsors, like your brother's barbershop.
Yeah.
Plug and Play, the wrestling and pace.
Yeah.
I think shout it out, and then we'll kind of close it up.
Awesome. Yeah, shout out Illuminated Barbershop in Costa Mesa, right off Harbor. And Adams, my little brother works there. The owner, great dude. His cousin actually fights MMA as well out in Palm Desert. He was like, dude, if you ever want to go train with him, link you guys up. So I was like, dude, this is the right place. Takes care of my brother really well. So if you need your haircut, his wife dyes hair and cuts hair for the ladies. And if you want to be looking fresh for your fight, show up before, look good, feel good, fight good. Obviously Plug and Play. First ever, it was funny when we showed up to that draft, my parents were like, well, what weed team you want to get drafted by? I was like, fucking Plug and Play. That was the only one I really knew. I knew Royal Blunts and all the other one. I was like, Plug and Play. When we were in high school, those were the carts you always wanted to get, like. And I was a kid, we couldn't afford the Plug and Play cart, so to get them, freaking sick. So that was a blessing. And then obviously Jamie at Pace Combat, like that's. I was telling him, I was like, dude, it's so crazy. I've been training jiu-jitsu for not that long, and I'm already making a big splash on the scene. I already got a freaking rash guard company. Like, people can buy I'm on a website. Yeah, like literally, I sent it to my mom. I was like, Mom, we made it. I'm on a website.
You've been on posters.
I was like, I'm on posters. I know. That's how I was like, I fucking made it. So it's awesome, dude. So yeah, shout out Pace. Like I've been saying all over my Instagram, you say they do great deals. Like we got bulk orders, custom deals.
Yeah, we got the one-of-ones, shorts, tops.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball
jerseys. Yeah.
Jamie can do baseball jerseys. You know, I bet if you got a soccer team, he'd do it. Like, so I'm saying, and
running clubs we talked about with him and everything. Yeah,
And like I said in one of my posts the other day, nowadays you vote with your dollar. So if you want to support a guy with good morals, a faith-based company, and a guy who supports a bunch of other good people who, if you're watching this, you're probably a friend of Brian, you're probably a friend of me. So if you want to support them and us, support Pace.
Yeah.
And growing company, and they got a couple of big fighters too. They got one of Rob's guys.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Like, you know, so like this isn't some rinky-dink mom and pop show, you know? Like they put out quality gear, and dude, I got my stuff so quick. Like by the time I finalized, like, all right, Jamie, this is what I want. You're so detailed with everything, like FaceTiming me, sending pictures. All right, no, I moved this over an inch. Is this okay? All right, cool. All right, can I put this logo here? Oh, I don't want to make my logo too big. I'm like, dude, put your logo. I'll tattoo your logo at this point, bro.
Okay, yeah, we got to go into that real quick. What was the whole thing with the tattoo? And then,
oh my God.
If you don't have anyone else to shout out,
No, dude, that's probably it. Or shout out my mom, my dad, and both my brothers, Jimmy and Benny. Without you guys, nothing's possible. And then shout out Silverback Wrestling, Taylor and Ian and Johnny, you guys, and Aaron. You guys are my family. You guys know that. But yeah, the infamous face tattoo. So the guy who gave me my tattoo, Kareem, I guess another shout out Newport Tattoo down by Cassidy's by the pier, Newport Beach. Kareem's owned it since 2006. Man, I coach Kareem's daughter, Avela, in Muay Thai. She is a beast, dude. She's one of Luca's little best friends. You know, they're always training together. But yeah, so we go in. Kareem's got his black belt on Felipe. A lot of the Triunfo guys work there. And me and him we're grabbing a burger next door, and I go, oh yeah, because my mom had dropped me off. There's no parking down there. And he goes, oh yeah, how do your parents feel about like tattoos and stuff? He's like, I know you have a couple. I'm like, oh, they don't care. I already told them I'm getting it on my calf. I told them I'm gonna get it nowhere bad. He goes, oh dude, I own the place. We can waste stencils. You want to put some on your face to mess with her? So I go, oh yeah. And then I'm like, no, you know what would be better? We should send this to Felipe. And we should do gym logo. And then we're joking. We're sitting there in Cassidy's just joking around. And I'm like, bro, I was like, loyalty over skills.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like anything to get my purple belt.
Yeah, just a blue belt. Yeah.
Anything to get my purple belt. So yeah, then he puts a stencil on. He goes, that's not enough. People aren't going to believe it. So he dips the freaking gun in a bunch of ink, and he's holding it like right next to my face.
Yeah, I literally thought the line was already on.
So he's dripping it down to make it look like that. Yeah. That's how good he is he can stay steady enough.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so close to hitting my face. I was like, Kareem, if you tattoo my face, I swear to God, bro. I was like, I'm going to have to live here at the shop because my parents are going to kick me the fuck out. Like, dude, everybody, the amount of DMs I got, Ray, no. People are calling me. Ian, my other coach, calls me. My brother just called me and told me you got a fucking face tattoo. What are you doing, dude? And I'm you can't coach kids if you have a face tattoo.
In Orange County.
Yeah, you live in Costa Mesa, bro. Like, yeah, no, didn't go through it. They got my calf done. Kareem does amazing work. If you're ever looking, he's a couple months booked out because he's been such a freaking legend in tattooing. But all their artists are amazing. So if you're ever looking for work and you're down by the beach, get a nice little sunset, a brewski, and you can get your tattoo.
Nice.
But yeah, that was
tattoo,
dude,
yeah.
that was hilarious. He was like, dude, make a face so it looks like it's like, oh, dude,
that's why I was like so realistic.
It was perfect. And dude, what's more scary to me is the amount of people who were like, dang, bro, you really did it. I'm like, do you fucking know me? Like, are you for real? You really thought that I got a face tattoo of my gym? Yeah. Like, I mean, these guys are my family. I'm probably gonna get that logo tattooed on my thigh, maybe up here, the back, and probably about that size too.
Yeah.
But just
the face,
yeah, it was right on the cheek. I was like,
you got to repost that, tag like OTM, IBJJF, like all these ADCC pages. Craig Jones inspired me.
That's what I'm waiting for. So I kind of let it go for a sec, and then I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna make a post and like a full edit about it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I'm trying to get that thing viral. Yeah, because that could go viral.
Monetize that for sure.
That's how I was like, that could go viral. And then I'll have him maybe do those fake tattoos that go away in a day, maybe for competition. I'll pull up with it, and like they're like, oh, he did it. Yeah. he actually went through with it.
That would be a really good Triunfo shirt. It's literally you here, and then just that stencil being applied.
Yeah,
and
that's it. And the messed up is Kareem's smile. Where he's like, I'm gonna do it. Like. Yeah, the amount of people that texted me and Kareem being like, please don't tell me you tattooed Ray's face. Oh, dude, that was good. That's prank of the year for sure. I got everybody's asses on that one.
Yeah, if you had that, I would have for sure made, like, you would have had some match on Battle of the Brewery, so we could just display that. And, like, everyone's like,
that's right. Raise the main event now. Why?
Yeah,
Because, just cause.
Yeah, you'll see it.
The poster's just me just like saying, like.
It's a mugshot.
Yeah, that's all I was about to say. It's a mugshot picture, essentially.
Next one, Plug and Play will hit you up, like, all right, let's make it happen.
Yeah, they're like, name your price.
Yeah.
Set your price.
All right, dude. But yeah, I think we shouted out. We covered all the gear. Any last shout outs you want to do or things you want to talk about before we close out?
Yeah, it looks like I'm trying to jump on Battle of the Brewery. Looks like we might have a match coming up. So going down to 180. I say down to 185. That should be just 185 in general. I was like, I fought 55s for MMA, which is people fucking shit their pants when they got made 55s because I'm 6 feet tall, you know?
Yeah.
But 85 is a comfortable weight class for me. Didn't really even look up the guy. Doesn't really matter. I fight my fight. The more I look into other people, it's like, is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go out there, hopefully sub this dude, and then go grab a picture with my dad. That's usually how I celebrate a fight after. So now I'm already at a brewery, so we don't got to drive home.
Exactly. No, that's like the perfect thing to do.
Oh yeah. No, it should be a cool environment. I actually know. Jared, I don't remember her last name. Jessica though. She used to own a gym up in Big Bear. She competed at one of your Battle of the Breweries.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, Jessica D. Yeah. Deffenball. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a camp for Silverback up in Big Bear and used her gym.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah. It was Lighthouse, I think.
Yeah, Lighthouse Academy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's cool people. Yeah, it's funny. I've never asked. So I remember getting a DM from you about, hey Ray, I got money you can win in brackets, you know? And I was like, so I'm just like, all right, cool. How did you go about hitting me up? Was it Cody or because of Jessica? Because I know Jessica told me that she had told you guys, and then I'm always in Cody's ear like, hey, get me on something, bro.
I don't even know. I think, it was definitely by referral. Yeah. Because someone said, hey, I have this guy, he's in that weight, and he's big, and he's a blue belt, and he could wrestle.
Yeah.
MMA background. And then from there, I think we just connected, and I was like, hey, I have money on the mat, and then mopping terps.
Yeah, which we did both of those. Yeah, which was sick. Yeah, because I've always wondered, I'm like, how did Brian meet me?
Yeah, I'm not even sure, to be honest. That's a good question. I got to look up.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my plan. I just snuck my name in there.
Yeah, literally, that's how I hope it goes. Like, we have the athlete thread, like someone puts it in or someone like asks.
Yep.
That's all I need, and then if the matches make sense and the opponent accepts a match and they accept.
Hey, it ain't about what you know, but it's about who you know.
Exactly.
That's the only way to make it forward.
Yeah, that's literally how this whole tournament came together. So shout out Mopping Terp, shout out Puffco, Nothing But Fire, Plug and Play, Pace Combat. From the other events, California Coast Plumbers, we have Paradigm, we have Kalinaw, Dane's Donuts, Redshift Coffee.
Oh, Dane's Donuts. That guy's the homie. It's funny. He actually knows like a bunch of my homies from skating and shit out here in Orange County because he goes to the Costa Mesa at the Volcom Skate Park all the time. Yeah. I live right by there. And I went to Costa Mesa, so all my friends were skating there. So I was like, he followed me on Instagram. I was like, dude, you know like half my friends. And he was like, dude, you know half my friends.
Yeah, Dane's a cool guy. I've been following him for a minute, and then he opened up his trailer, and we had him at a couple of shows. And
dude,
then,
fire donuts, bro.
Yeah, he is a faith-based guy in his business, so love him.
Yeah, nothing to complain about there. He uses the beef tallow and everything in the donuts. Dude, this shit's so good.
Yeah.
His coffee is good too. Yeah, his coffee was fire. My mom got one of the coffees from him last time. Everything's fire, dude.
Yeah. Shout out, I think JD's Wings too.
Yes.
Vendor,
Yes. He gave me, what did he give me after Money on the Mat? He gave me something after Money on the Mat. I think it was like his version of like a chicken nugget or something. But
oh, okay,
I was like, I forgot what it was, but it was chicken and it was fucking phenomenal. So anything from JD's Wings is fire.
Yeah, and he's fight community, so you might see him around.
That's what he said. He trains and stuff, so that's why I was like, oh, okay, I fuck with this.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Well, Ray, I think we'll see you at Battle at the Brewery. Yep. We'll see you next year's Mopping Terps with Plug and Play, and we'll see you at whatever other fights you have coming up. You let us know. We'll post it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna probably do a bunch of grappling this year. I might sneak a kickboxing fight in. I'm thinking about coming back to the cage next year. I just want to take this year to develop the grappling. So anything you have, I'm doing no matter what. And then sneak in a couple jiu-jitsu world leagues. Might go IBJJF, but I don't really like the rules for blue belt there, so it's like I like competing with open rules. I don't like that in jiu-jitsu they nerf the rules. So.
No, with the whole leg lock.
In wrestling, everybody learns the same. Whether you're 5 or 65, you compete on the same rule set.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's for me. I'm like, I get it. We don't need white belts ripping heel hooks. So maybe
kids a little, head locks, but I get it.
I get it. A kid doesn't need to be doing heel hooks, but also I'm a grown ass man. And my biggest thing is when you'll be training with somebody and like I was training with this brown belt once, hits me with a toe hold. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Boom, hit it back on me. You are not allowed to do that. You were a blue belt. And I'm like, dude.
Why are you hitting on me? Yeah.
That's how I'm like, are we either freaking fighting or we not? Like, that's how I was like, I don't understand how you ripping my arm isn't safe, is considered safe.
Yeah.
But if I grab your toes, you're going to get mad.
Yeah.
So like, so World League, I'm doing that just because Felipe is like, hey, I need to see you competing there. So I'm like, okay, I'll go do that because coach said so.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm looking for more just super fight stuff where I can have a free open rule set and actually move around.
Yeah.
And I like that you guys put it in a cage. So
Get some money too. Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh well. I mean, come on. Like, yeah. Instead of paying for the tournament, instead of paying for my tiny medal.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather be compensated for putting my health and well-being on the line.
Yeah. So all right, dude. Well, Ray, it's been a pleasure, and
Fuck yeah, dog.
we'll talk to you again soon.